Good morning, and thank you for keeping it Citizen Television. Asante sana. We always appreciate your time and company. And we begin social hour right now. Today, tunajaribu kujikaza. Tunaongea kuhusu something that I know even you or somebody you know next to you. As we end the year, tukifikanga around this time, there's usually that feeling that people have, and you're just feeling like you want to let go. Umefanya enough from January to this particular time, and you feel like, eish, we want to talk about burnout. And one of my panelists here ananiambia kuna difference ya burnout, na tiredness, na fatigue. So as we continue having this conversation, where hapo mwisho utatuambia una follow up. Are you burnt out? Are you tired? Are you fatigued? Na hiyo burnout yako ni ya financial, ni ya physical, ama ni ya wapi? Anyway, I'm just kidding. We are talking about burnout, and I have the panel with me every Tuesday. They are here. Amazing people always making our Tuesday amazing. Tunacheka, tuna learn, like they are here with me. They got the memo. Kuna watu wa dark blue. Mnaka fiti, by the way.
Thank you.
Sema hiki tu mnafikiria. Like every time, mnaka fiti sana.
My dream is to when I get my husband to go to a match outfit.
Husband was just chilling.
And then
this is my
Roberta
dream. Hivi venye mimi na Ken tumefanya watu wanaona. Lakini sijali niambia tukifanya hivyo alafu tukosane tu by different outfits watu watajua iko shida.
Kuna shida, so msizoee sana.
Lakini mimi nataka a girl can dream. Tushoneshe vitenge too much. You know my parents used to do that. So they do that still, but like I think it's cute. I like it. It's exciting. That's Mr. Roberta in that corner there.
Mungu wa Roberta. Sasa acha tufikishe hii message right.
Mungu wa Roberta.
Mungu wa Roberta. Umesikia? That's like a silent prayer. Next year, a time like this. You kazi wacha niachie CJ. Wacha niachie CJ. CJ knows how to do this best. CJ unakaa fiti. Karibu sana.
Asante. Thank you. You guys need to know.
Asante.
Guy, hata mimi nimeshtuka.
Cutie, you know that. I tell you that.
Sijakuzoea CJ.
Asante. Cutie unakapoa.
Thank you. Mimi nataka kumatch tu Jazzy na mtu wangu tu match tu Jazzy Manchester United.
Mungu wa cutie umesikia.
Hapo ndipo bana utiko.
Mungu wa cutie umesikia hiyo pia.
Tumatch tu Jazzy.
Sugar yenu na CJ iko tu sawa.
Asante manze. Thank you.
So today we're talking about burnout.
Aki mimi si introduce you. Hii ni burnout.
Ile burnout ndio hiyo sasa. Ken ukwaje? Ken Peter Mwenywa.
Aya. Actually, we were chatting with CJ over the weekend on Saturday, and I can attest he knows better Swahili.
He does?
Yes.
Hey, okay.
The only thing I didn't know about him, I didn't know he's a singer.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, that I didn't know.
Okay. Sasa juu hiyo story Kiswahili tumechange program. Sasa mtazamaji itakuwa ni ya Kiswahili.
Alafu useme burnout.
Mimi ni jiume ulimi. For you people know. Anyway, we're talking about burnout. And watu wajui. You know, by the way, kwanza tuanzie, how are you feeling, Roberta?
Me? Hey, I'm not the right person to ask about burnout, but I feel great. I feel good. I mean, I know what constitutes a burnout. So it's something I intentionally try to avoid, not really avoid, but I try to control how I live my life throughout the year so that when the year is coming to an end, I'm not so fatigued or so tired. So, like I'm always saying, it needs a lot of intentionality. Maybe kana tatuambia definition ya burnout ile correct. Lakini mimi vile najua, it's something I usually feel in my soul. It's more than the physical manifestation of being tired. It's I don't want to talk to anybody, I don't want to see anybody. I just want to keep quiet and shut up and mind my business and just sleep and rest. And this comes when I find I've been working throughout. Something I usually say is, you see, my career is really fun. It's exciting. It's something I love doing. I'm consistently happy. I don't know if you guys have had this thing for don't just love your job your love. It's a joke going around. But I really, truly enjoy what I do for a living and how I live my life. But because of that, sometimes I realize I don't take rest seriously because it doesn't feel like work. It just feels like I've been having fun the whole year. So when I start getting tired, Nashanga, I can't really pinpoint, it doesn't feel like I've been working, but I'm learning how to be very, very intentional so that ongeza rest kwa my schedule and I'm able to take things slower. So I don't think I'm really burnt out. So to answer your question, I feel great.
All right.
Happy.
Let's talk about whether the job alone is the only thing that can make somebody feel burnt out, as we continue. But QT, also tell me, from where you sit, this topic, where unaionaje, like, how do you describe burnout from where you sit?
Burnout pia inaweza kwa social battery iko zero manze, like una feel too you're tired. Venye Bobby amesema, you're like you don't want to talk to anyone. But pia unajua watu wasema CJ ameniambia but ulikuwa tu vacation juzi, nikamwambia hata vacation itakupatia burnout juu una travel time zones pia zinachanganya na bado ndio nimeanza but pia kuna hizo time zones pia zinakuchanganya, so kuna hiyo bado kutravel bado ni burnout by the way, because at the end of the day umechanganyikiwa, umechoka kutravel. You know, sometimes unasikia mtu anasema ame travel 23 hours. Unajua 23 hours ni tuko hapa saa hizi na by the time tufike tena kesho mtu hajafika mahali anaenda. Tuko kwa show, kesho safini uko hapo unafanya show yako na mtu hajafika mahali anaenda. So pia hiyo ni burnout. Kuna social na pia kuna financial. Ushaika tu financial burnout by the ni moto because lazima you want to pay your bills, you want to do things, but hiyo do ifiki manze safini. Like you really want to do it but unapata tu uko na vitu mob za kufanya but una hiyo do ya kufanya hizo vitu zote na ni important. Hakuna yenye unaweza toa. Nasikia watu wanasemaga si utoe hii si important. Toa iwezi zitoa. So pia financial burnout ni kitu yenye ni people don't really think about it, but it is a burnout. So social for me, I think mimi nachokanga sana ikifika ni mambo na social, na feel too I just need to rest. Sitasema physical sana, but safin time ulikuwa umeenda leave nilikuwa na burnout nyingine unaoma sana.
At least ulikuwa unasikia.
But then I put by the way nilikwambia boss wa safin niliweka respect to this lady. Manze unajua nilikuwa nafanya 2 days lakini na unafanya 3 ilikuwa 3 or 4 days na unafanya zingine. So nilikuwa narauka but unajua nilirealize pia lazima ujob your love. You have to job your love and love your job at the end of the day, because I was like hakuna ile denye niliwahi amka hivi na nikasema by this sikuji hiyo job. Una get like you have to do it at the end of the day. It's something that you love to do and it's not even a complaint. By the hata si complaint. So lazima ni balance. Mi yangu lazima ni balance. Asubuhi niende gym, lazima niamke 4, lazima niende gym, nikuje nipige TV, nitoke hapo nipige radio na afternoon bado nipige. But nilikuwa najiambia alafu tumeglorify ku burn out. Yani we've glorified this burning out. Like wazazi wetu walikuwa kujaga home kama wamechoka. So kama haujachoka safini then it means hujafanya kazi, na hiyo ni kitu tunafaa tuitoe. Ukilala a whole day it's a crime. Safini if you sleep a whole day tu kai tu hivyo mtu anakuambia by the way you're lazy, umezembea. So we don't really take time to sit back and rest because we've glorified burning out.
And we'll talk about how to manage and how to navigate. But CJ, let me also hear your thoughts. I know this is something a luxury you cannot afford. You are not allowed to get tired. But tell me more about how you see Asante.
You should know the number of Tuesdays that I've asked myself whether I should come.
Burnout is
because you know I've been at this for so long. So sometimes you ask yourself, should I really go start picking the phone to text Safin? Then you remember the cost. So you're right when you say sometimes some people don't have the luxury. Because the cost sometimes outweighs the cost of it. But for me, a burnout is when you're now gasping for breath. It's like you're gasping for breath. If you were running up the hill and you start getting to the place where you're running out of breath, you want to do it. The will is there to do it. And you just can't find yourself getting there. So when we talk about the different things, including the payment of bills, before you've cleared these bills, the next bills are here. You're always catching up with something. You find yourself easily beginning to run out of breath. And what that does is that it demotivates you. So motivation will be lost at some point. So it may be even something you love. But then if you're not getting the results and the expectations that you put in, if the results do not match the input when you are investing so much into it. And in fact, I think that there are higher chances of burning out at the things that you love than the things you don't, because you put in everything.
You give it your all.
Put in your soul, your spirit, your body, your mind, your energy. You'll have no boundaries. You'll put in all your money and all of that because you love the thing and then you want it to work. It may be a relationship or work or something, your own dreams. When you keep doing that over and over and there's nothing putting back into you, nothing is pouring back into you, you begin to run out of steam. So that's for me what that is. And a lot of people who are in my spaces and my positions, founders, when you always have started things, whether it's business or anything, they really go through burnout, but they don't have the luxury because they want the thing to work. And then you can never tell. If you're starting a business, you cannot tell that this business will be set up in a year. That thing could take up to 10 years. In fact, most businesses stabilize at about 10 years. That's why over 90% of them fail or close in the first 1 year. And so people keep on going, when you are in the age, myself, Ken, in the middle there.
Safin,
Safin is still coming. Safin is still coming. So you've got these kids who are growing, you're paying all these bills. You also want to set up the future for them. So you are in between paying the immediate bills and setting up a future. You want to leave an inheritance, and at the same time you have all these bills. So you're always chasing and chasing, and if you're not very careful, you just end up with a burnout.
All right, burnout. Ken, hey, I know this is like your area because you understand the mind and you're also into corporate, and the career space is also one of the areas. Watu wamejipeana, let me use that word, to their jobs and forgotten all other aspects about their lives. Sometimes you realize, henyewe, you're not yourself. Talk to us about how you understand this term burnout, and in the context of this time that we are in. We are almost closing the year. Tukiwa Januari tulianza vizuri. In fact, tulikuwa na resolutions, tukasema nataka kufanya. Tulianza vizuri, tunaamka asubuhi tuko psyched up, but then sasa unaona watu wanauliza tu tuna break when. What is the problem and where do we get it wrong probably hapa katikati?
Well, I first have to start by saying it does not happen at any particular time of the year. I think we're off the cuff, we were talking with you and I told you I experienced burnout in June myself. And I remember we sat to have some breakfast with QT and Roberta, and I told them, I'm going to be making a radical decision. And I thought through it and I made the decision. And I have even shared it with CJ. And I said, yes, I think this is the right move for me. Yeah. And I will not make it very fast. I will take my time. But the decision has already been made. So you can even start the year with burnout.
Oh.
It is possible to start. Burnout does not come later. It can even start. And there are three things that you need to look at when you're telling yourself whether you're burnt out. Physically, mentally, emotionally. And this could be brought about by the work. Either you are over-challenged or you are under-challenged. There are people who experience burnout because they are literally doing nothing.
Oh, under-challenged.
Yes, they were idle. And so they feel like no career move, you've hit a plateau, you're not progressing. And I think for me, that's the point I found myself, like when your job does not challenge you anymore, it's like you conquered all and you're feeling like, I know this is not what I really want. In corporates, you'd find people who are very tired, but when you look at what they have been doing, you find nothing. We call leadership, CJ will tell you, the lonely top. The more you ascend, the more you become lonely. And the more people will not want to be associated with you. And so at the apex is you're just alone, you have nobody to talk to. And that's where the problems are so many, because the people who depend on you are so many. And they think you've made it in life. They don't want to call you because they are disturbing you. They don't want to socialize with you because they think they are not part of your class. And so people now start showing you as if now, where you are and where they are, there's a great rift. And so what starts happening to you? Emotionally, you start getting drained. These are the people that I hoped I can be able to relate with. These are the activities. You would see even your nieces and nephews and even grandchildren, if you're that age, having rosacea and you're like, I didn't know I'm not part of the family anymore.
You're not invited.
And then now you've burnt, umechoma. Your battery has gone down. Unfortunately, there are some burnouts that you can never recharge.
Oh, it's only...
Unless now you move. There are those that you can reverse, but those ones that are unrechargeable.
Like which ones now?
Like now, say for instance, it's, let me give a career because I'm in the corporate world, where you feel you have done it all, but you're also being put down by the seniors. You can never ascend to power. You can never do much. There are times when now you have to tell yourself, maybe I'm the right person in the wrong job. And you have to learn how to move. The most unfortunate thing, and I tell people, please never quit jobs between October and February unless you're very sure. Because towards the end of the year is when most companies are slowing down. Starting the beginning of the year is when they're accelerating. So you don't want to go to a place where you don't even know the gear of accelerating there. Or you don't want to go to a place where you don't know the braking system. But if you're very sure, please make the right move. They say it's only men with metal balls who resign in January. If you feel you're right for it, please go for it. Physically, you feel like your energy is no longer there. Yeah? You want to do something. You get home, and the first thing you see is the couch. You don't even want to go to the bedroom. You don't want to go to the washroom. You just want to sleep. Hapo. Now, ukisalimiwa, we were discussing with some men last Sunday, and I was telling them, there comes a time when everybody experiences what we call the phase of nothingnity. You just want nothing. You just want yourself. You don't want anybody to talk to you. Right. They look at you and you're like, what's wrong? There's nothing wrong. You're just in the face of nothingnity because you've burned out. And then mentally, now you start asking yourself, I have contributed so much to this company. What have they been giving me? Nothing. People are having their salaries reviewed. Mine was just a meager amount. You start finding yourself in the complaining move. The moment you find yourself in a complaining move, you've burnt out. Now, I want to say something.
So burnout is not just fatigue, tiredness.
It could be exhaustion, where you look at that place where we hang the coats, maybe in office or in the houses. You wish you were the one hanged there and you just like...
You just lie there doing nothing.
Yeah, I wanted to say that you can never be fired because of burnout, but you can be fired because what burnt out has done for you is you are not even giving your all. And that's where now there comes a time when you have to learn how to take breaks. I am so against people who even sell their leave days. Let's compensate you. How much is so that you can be paid? No, it's not about money.
All right. Yeah. Roberta, having heard, how he has described it, probably from your point of view, where do you think people go wrong? And if you've ever found yourself in a space where you felt burnt out or fatigued, could you identify penye maybe inaweza kuwa imetoka? Because what he has described, watu wanawatch wanasema, hey, that's me. That's actually, I'm in that space. Tunakosea wapi from your analysis?
Okay, niko na jibu mbili. Ya kwanza ni watu wanadhani rest ni luxury. Watu wanadhani rest ni a certain type of people who now they can afford to rest. Watu wanadhani rest inafaa look a certain way, like I can only rest on a yacht in Dubai. Hizi zingine zote ni unnecessary ama high count. So people really overlook the rest. They think it's a reward. It's I have to be very productive and then on Saturday I'll rest. Rest is something you incorporate in your daily routine. Rest is something your body needs. It is something you need to recharge to ongeza your... Introverts will understand what I mean. If you go outside and you talk to people and you come back, your social battery is so low. Yani huna budi, it's either unyamaze or relax. Kwa minajili ya.
Social battery ziko low.
Social battery ziko low sana. So hauna choice, like it's either you rest ama hautaweza kuamka kesho. Hauna choice, it's either you really listen to your body. So I'd like for people to first of all stop thinking rest is supposed to be a reward. It's like something you deserve after you've worked so hard. Rest ni daily. Rest ni kitu unafanya kila siku. Hata maybe Cutie atatuambia mambo ya gym, how she incorporates the rest into her life. So that's one. Rest is not a luxury. It's something you deserve every day. It's something you need. And I like for people, on to this point, I'd like for people to listen to their bodies. I know you'll give me excuses like, I don't have the money, I don't have the time, I'm always working every day, I have 6 children, I have to... Okay, if you don't rest, who's going to be there for your 6 children? If you're not well rested, how is your boss going to need you in the office when you can't even function, you can't even speak, you can't show up, you can't be at 100%? So rest is your luxury. And if you do not rest, your body will do it for you. One day you'll just shut down and you will be unable. How many times are people woken up in the hospital unable to wake up? Or people even die from a lack of being able to listen to their bodies and take time to be kind to themselves and pause a bit. So rest's your luxury, rest's your reward. It is your birthright. It is actually something, something you deserve.
Right. Justice for rest.
Every day you need to rest. Haya, ya pili ni ignorance. Hatuna enough information about our bodies. Because not enough research is being done, especially the women. You see, the men, I'm not saying men should rest more, women should rest more, but or should rest more than women or anything, but let me speak to the women. The men's cycle is 24 hours. Every day they're replenishing their energy as they wake up, the testosterone is high again, then it goes, it can diminish throughout the day. Women, our cycle is 28 days.
Or 21.
Okay, yeah. 21 to 28.
We need to talk.
I am a psychologist.
So you're going through different, you know, every week you're a different person.
It's true.
Every week, na kuna ile wiki moja. Hata saa zingine ni mbili. Kuna tu wiki moja yenye tunakuanga happy, excited, feeling sexy, feeling beautiful, feeling nice. There's only one week where you know which week I mean. All these other weeks, you're dealing with cramping, pain, hormonal imbalances, anger, attitude issues. You're annoyed, you're tired, everything smells bad, people look bad, people are talking to you, sijui what. And because we're not talking about this enough, you're thinking, hey, you're on your period, that's why you have attitude. No. There's a serious hormonal imbalance going through my body right now.
Ask me the desk mate.
There's a whole system within me that is playing its part.
I know. I've experienced it.
So I think it's really important that, you know, you get to know your cycle, you get to know your body. There's weeks where I don't leave my bed. I'm able to tell I'm getting into a depressive mood. I don't want to talk to people. I'm tired, sina appetite. I listen to myself. I don't force myself at, oh, this week I have to show up. See, kama haiwaki yo wiki haiwaki, na ndaka tu kwa kitanda mpaka Saturday.
And it's okay.
Mpaka Sunday I feel better. And there's something my little brother, okay, I call him little, but he's like a 26-year-old man. My little brother tells me, Roberta, you know, you always feel like you're not showing up at your optimum self. But something I observe with you is that when it's time to show up, you always show up. So why do you beat yourself up when it's time to rest? Right. So when you're ready, you will wake up and you will do the work. And again, this will bring us to the luxury thing. You might say, awe, Roberta, unaweza lala the whole week. Ndo maana unatu advice zi. Nimepanga maisha yangu according to his cycle yenye najua. This week sitakudanganya, sitaweza kutokea. Next week, tunaweza chapa 23 hours. Lakini this week, hata usinipigie simu. So be aware of your body, be aware of your cycle, be aware of how you show up in society. Schedule rest. If you need to write it in your calendar, ndo alarm iko inalia. It's 5 p.m. go home and sleep. Ama it's iPhones inakuanga na hiyo feature ya sijui hizi zingine ziko nazo. 9 p.m. inakuambia bedtime, time to switch off. It switches everything off. My notifications, nini. So now you just rest. You go to sleep. What wanna do?
iPhone.
Yes.
Anyway, I want to hear from you as well. By the way, Roberta may describe hizo wiki. I've never met the other version. Mi upata tu na yako happy. Mi hata nashangaa. Ask the desk mate.
Ask me.
Ask the desk mate. So tell me a bit about yourself as well. Ni aspects kama vile amesema a few tips in terms of wache ignorance, prioritize rest. For you, maybe kuna time umejipata pia wewe umeenda sana, baka it's like sort of your body is shutting down. True. And what did you do at that moment?
I remember before, as she said, before I started working out, nilikuwa na piga sherehe sana. Nilikuwa naonanga sasa mimi nalala 2 hours. Unajua CJ ukiongea naye utarealize at most I think analalanga 4 hours. Like 4 hours you amelala sana. So hata nikimwambia story yangu ya kulala ananiangalia gazeti. It makes sense. Hezi afford kulala 8 hours, unaona. So people are just different. So for me, I never used to rest honestly. Na nilikuwa napataga tu nimechoka, nimejam, nimekasirika, uko na anga. You're just tired all the time. So when I came into my journey ya sasa ya kupiga tizi and all of that. And I keep saying you don't have to go to the gym. Kupiga tizi, it's not about the gym. Don't get me wrong. It's never about that. But I came to realize you have to sleep for 8 hours. Safin mi ulala 8 hours. Mi naambiaga nalalaga saa 2. Faithfully ikifika 8 p.m. at most 9. Unless niko na kitu nafanya ama I'm going, you know, I have an event or something like that. I try to sleep at 8 so that niamke 4. Now by the time niamke 4, that's why I'm able to wake up, because people are always like, how are you able to wake up at 4? Because I rest. I have to sleep for 8 hours. Yani nimeitake seriously. Like venye amesema unaitake ni kama, yani sijui nitaisemaje, but you have
your to-do list.
It's on my to-do list. Like I have to be home. At sometimes people tell me, please kuja event yangu different, and I'm like, cheki, maybe I come on Tuesday because on Wednesday is my rest day. I get to rest on Wednesday. So I came to realize with TZ, nimekam to realize like exercise, you learn so many things. You see what Bobby has said? I didn't even know that. So nili realize kuna zile zenye nakuwaga na superpowers. There are those weeks I can really lift. Niko na superpowers, sijui zimetoka wapi. Na kuna zile wiki zenye the same nini nimepatiwa, I'm just like I cannot be able to lift this. But I did it last week. So una realize body zetu zina change pia with time. And as also Ken said, unaweza anza mwaka kama umebit. Like tunajiambia saizi tunataka kuswitch off, December imefika, January imefika, ushachoka. There is no real time ati utasema ati umechoka ama unafaa kurest ama nini.
Watu waamka asubuhi tu wanasema lakini nimechoka. Uko na mabeshte kao.
Mimi ni wacha nikwambie
ni wewe beshte.
But acha nikwambie, that's why ndo nimesema, imagine ebu start sleeping for 8 hours. Just give yourself 8. There's a reason why tunalala 8 hours, una work 8 hours alafu hizo 8 hours zingine. You remember what we said? You know what to do with the other 8 hours, family, socialize and do all of that. So if you don't balance out. So for me, I always try to balance out Safin. Najuanga nikiamka 4. So by the time ifika around 4-5 nishafika home, nishafanya what I need to do. By the time ianze kufika 8 nisha nini nguo zangu, whatever I am ready. So please plan. At the end of the day, tukisema hivyo, maybe for CJ, for him akisema 4 hours kulala, yeye anajua venye amejipanga, yeye anajua mind yake I need kulala, unajua. Alafu anasemanga with age unaendaga so anasemanga with time unaendaga tu sasa umeanza kubit because you no longer have that energy, because pia body yako inaendeki, unajua body yako inaendeki choka Safin. At the end of the day, the energy that I have right now, isi energy nilikuwa nayo nikiwa 20 year old ama 22 year old. Saizi pia mali imefika lazima nijipende. So mimi usemanga jipende please. Venye Bobby amesema please rest. Like it's very important. Na watu waache kufanya kurest ikaini kama ni crime. It's not a crime to rest. Imagine take time, sleep a whole day. If you need to, sleep a whole day. If you need to, sleep a whole week. Mimi nikienda live yangu, mimi nalalaga. By the way, I really sleep Safin. Watu wananiambiaga QT you don't sleep, but I really do sleep. Maybe I show people what they need to see on my socials. Naonyesha venye niko busy huku nje, lakini mimi ikifika time ya kulala, mtanitafuta. Even my mom jokes about it because she calls me, she's like, najua umelala. I'm like, mom, then why did you call me? Unajua nimelala by the way. So I take it seriously. So guys, please schedule your sleep time, schedule your rest days, schedule all these things, because at the end of the day, health is wealth. Itafika mahali body yako ita burn out, utahave kwenda hosi kutibiwa uchovu, fatigue, inaitwa fatigue. Utaenda kutibiwa hizo vitu zote.
CJ, your question will be a bit different. I know you'll throw in tips in there, but I want to understand from a leadership perspective, what you feel like the more I give, the more I work hard. Unajua wale watu wenye wana overdo things. Anakaa kwa ofisi hadi sijui saa ngapi nini, like that's the more I become productive. Is it true or otherwise? And how destructive or constructive is it?
It's not necessarily true. But you see, leadership requires a certain level of passion as well. If you're not passionate about what you're doing, you may not even get into that position of influence and leadership on the top. You have to constantly be creative, imaginative. You constantly have to be improving on your vision. Most companies, for example, that failed, did not fail because they actually did anything wrong. They just didn't catch up with competitors. People who took their ideas, innovated on those, and then went forward. So there's a story about Xerox that came up with the future, and then everybody else built on that and built trillions, and they didn't go anywhere far. And we keep on having this over and over, you know, from the Blackberries to the Nokias to what. Your competition is always, you know, learning from you and then improving on that. So that's sometimes the pressure that is on leadership. And if you were in leadership and management at the same time, so you're thinking about if you were in the office where Ken was in, so you've got to pay people their salaries. Sometimes you're not doing very well financially, you're not just going to rest and say, you know, whatever happens will happen. This guy is in the
Depend on you.
yeah. So that is something that it's an occupational hazard. It comes with your office. You have to think about this. It's like a mother thinking about the children having to eat. How you're going to create that food is up to you, but they need to eat at some point. So you need a certain level of passion and drive and vision for you to get to the top or stay at the top. However, you also need to know when to take the breaks. So the thing is trying to find a balance. The truth is you never really will get a balance. Seasons will require different versions of you. There's a time when...
See, there has to be a way.
No.
I mean...
Safin, there's no absolute balance. One thing always suffers.
Yeah.
So even when we talk about rest, it means at that particular point, your work or your friends or your social circle will suffer. You will always prefer one thing at any one point so that you give it quality. So that if I want to hang out with my family at that point, either my phone is off or I'm not taking calls or I'm not going anywhere, something will suffer.
Time, yeah.
So you need to know what needs to suffer at what point. And for you to know that, you also have to know what can suffer at what point and withstand it. If I take myself into work a lot, is my family at that particular point at the space, in the space where it can take that shock? So you have to weigh. You have a young family, probably that is not a very good idea. If you have grown your family over time, you have built your bonds over time, maybe they can take that shock of you staying at work longer. But you just got a wife last month and then you're like, man, we've got goals to meet. This may not recover from that shock. Yeah, it may not recover from that shock. Yeah. So you have to know that this thing can withstand the shock of the other. If I go on a break, will my company, my business, whatever I'm doing, my enterprise, can it withstand that long break? So it's the thing of knowing what can and what you should. I say that, for example, if you get into a marriage setup or a relationship, that's not the best time to start something as well. That's not the best time to become a founder, because both of these things require nearly all your time for them to stand. So if you're starting a business that requires your energy and then you've just started a relationship, you're going to lose one.
Oh, okay.
You will lose one.
So don't start a new relationship with a new business at the same time.
No.
You're starting twice.
Something is going to hurt the other so badly, and one of those things will not recover. So it's knowing when to do what and how to do what. But as you grow in leadership, the way to grow into rest, I use the Bible for that. My principle of rest is the Bible. God was creating for 5 days, then created his replacement. That you need to build people and systems that will allow you to rest, so that it is not just the break you take on a Saturday. So whatever you're doing, always teach other people, train other people, create systems. Systems are your stability, so that you don't need to be there every day. And never also think that people can't do without you. They will make you feel that they can't.
Until you're nowhere.
Until you're not there and you realize they're just going on.
Hiyo point umeachia ndo HR wacha sasa tuambie. Kuna kuanga na kale uoga that if I train people, if I allow people do what I can do, then I become replaceable, and that's not a good thing in the career space. So utapata mtu ameamua area kufe. Hata sick leave hawezi chukua. Like they give it their all. Because anajua if kukijulikana tu that people can do what I can do, then I'm replaceable. And that's why burnout is real, because people are dying in their positions. They don't want to leave or go and rest.
I should bring you a book that I love. It's called Are You Indispensable? Nobody is indispensable. And even if you do not tell people and you die, they will still find a solution. I always believe in multiplication factor, that it's okay for many people to be able to do what you can be able to do, because it creates some time for rest. When I go and teach companies, I tell them, one of the greatest leaders of leadership called Peter Drucker said that strategy eats culture for breakfast. You might have the best strategy, but the wrong culture. And one of the cultures every company must be able to implement is a culture where people take rest and never feel guilty. That today, the company that I work for, I tell people, it's okay, you can call me in the morning and tell me I have woken up feeling bad, I'll come an hour later. It's okay, as long as it's not a sequence. It's not predictable that it's every Monday or every time your team is playing.
Ama social media monekane.
Yeah, social media is a you know, there's a trend that was...
social media ulikuwa mahali.
Yeah, kuna time, I think it's this year, where people were trending, your doctor at 3 a.m. and your doctor at 7 a.m. Then you wonder, 3 and 7, yeah? As long as you're not overdoing and you do not take it as a weakness of management, it's okay. It's okay for people to tell themselves that I want to take 5 days of leave and nobody calls me. Actually, I keep telling my people, I'm still your HR, but I know you can survive even without me. You can call me, it's okay, but only call me if you have no other solution. What we need to do and know in companies is we never employ children. We have employed adults. And that's where, when you look at companies, most companies do not survive the honeymoon phase of burnout, where everybody is excited, they're looking forward. Most companies are happy on Thursdays and Fridays. As opposed to when they're supposed to be happy is Mondays and Tuesdays.
Mondays.
Because everybody hates Mondays. By the way, Monday is my favorite day.
Me too.
Because I keep telling myself, it's today that will determine the rest of my week. We need to inculcate a culture of even talking about it. Let's not just tell people on paper that you have 21 days of leave. You tell people, if you've been employed in November, it means your anniversary is in November. It's okay, you can take time, even if it's 10 days to go and rest. Yeah? Yes, we are in the business of making money. But what you need to understand is sometimes money is not everything. So
it should be a priority for both the employee and the employers should
actually,
also make it a big deal.
It's the employer who needs to inculcate that culture, such that when a new employee comes, you know, there are always inductions that we do to new employees, the official and the unofficial. The unofficial one where they will ask the colleagues, na huku mnaendanga leave aje? Anaambia, huku tunaga shida ya leave. Take 5 days and go. Actually, companies that are progressive, I hope I can get one. They even give you an allowance to go on leave. You're given 10 days and a package. Go and enjoy. Vacation, I know you can start one and hire me, Bobby, yeah? Where you can just go and enjoy. And there are people who are very intentional. If you do not create, and QT has said this and we cannot emphasize it enough, if you don't create time for your body to rest, your body will force you. Actually, 42% of your entire day, 42, and it's researched, which is 10 hours in a day, should be purposely for resting. And resting does not mean sleeping. There are people who are nocturnals. They can't sleep at night, but they can do well in a siesta in the afternoon. Allow them to do that. Walk. Well, you walk, and when you keep yourself busy along the road, just enda tu ukae kwa traffic. Sometimes I wonder, why do we spend so much time in traffic for a 3-kilometer distance? You spend 3 hours in traffic, whereas you could have walked for 1 hour. Teach yourself that your body needs to be rejuvenated. Because if you do not rejuvenate yourself, you're going to make yourself somebody who is not appreciated. And you know, unfortunately, we are getting to end of year awards, yeah? The ones who think they have really given their all to companies, nobody recognizes
that was the
them.
question, actually, when like, people think if I overwork, if I give it my all, that's when I stand out. I become the star of the company.
There's a difference between hard work and smart work.
Okay.
If hard work was to be rewarded every day, the donkey would be the king of the jungle.
And the hamburgers would be...
Correct. Yeah. Sometimes, allow me to say this. I look at some of our leaders who really push themselves. Sometimes I look at our president and I tell myself, this guy is burnt out. He might not even understand it. And who is there? That's the other thing. In a company, you must associate with somebody who can tell you, Safin, it's time for you to go and rest, relax. Yeah. Because you can't do it. You know, this monotony. Monotony is very boring. Yeah, that you do it every now and then you become complacent. You become like somebody who is used to it. Companies will still progress. Companies have outgrown founders. I have always said CJ has written that in a very good way. Even you as the founder, and allow me to wish one of my greatest friend and MD of Amco Properties, James Moturi, happy birthday. And I told him, it's your birthday. You will go and rest. And he's like, we are towards the end of a month. I told him, yes. Even the month will end, even if you're not here. Please be very intentional.
Big lesson. With or without you, the company will go on.
Yes.
So you better invest where it's needed, and that's yourself. Yeah? As we are about to close, Roberta, removing yourself from an environment is also one way of dealing with burnout. Talk to
Like me. How I always...
Yes. Talk to people about that. There's always that fear that, let me just stay, let me give more. The more you give, the more you feel like it's draining you. Yeah.
I like that Ken also mentioned emotional burnout. Na tumesema burnout si tu kazini. Saa ingine pia mko kwa relationships. Zinawatesa. Wewe mtu anakutesa.
Ama ateseki.
Hata kukutesa saa ingine ni hata hakuongeleshi. Si ati lazima akwe actively ati anafanya vitu zinakutesa. Saa ingine you're drained because you're giving into the relationship, and now you're burning out because what else can I do? I've listened, we've talked about this, I've been patient, I've tried to fix, but nothing is working. So as an ambassador of soft life and easiness
and self-care
and self-care and loving yourself. Oh, you know, I was born into a family where people are really hard workers and they always love working. So I was always the lazy one. I was always the one being told you're lazy, you're sleeping all the time. But even in my house, I'm the same way. I just always sleep all the time. And my, you know, nimejipanga vizuri. Lakini, as like I said, the ambassador of soft life, I'd like to say, especially as a woman, you are the most beautiful, the most productive, the most everything when you are very well rested. Please prioritize. Sisi ongea juu ya majamaju sijui yao wanafanyanga aje, lakini sisi madem, please prioritize. If you want to be beautiful, you want to show up the best, you have to rest. You have to take care of yourself. Sometimes rest looks like leaving situations that do not fit you anymore. So please make it part of self-care to make sure that you're resting enough. And I like the examples of rest that have been given. So just make it a priority.
Ndakwambia example moja ya majamaa how they do it. CJ will not be very happy with this one. But jioni wakitoka job, wanapitia pale 1 2 to relax.
As long as unasikia poa.
Alafu wanafika home kama wako fresh.
Ile uji ya uhuru.
But for women, what do they do? Unabeba kabag kako mbio, you're thinking about dinner,
taking care of
thinking
people.
about kids. It's like umekuwa the whole day job, you've been on all day, then unafika home, una switch immediately, you are on again.
Be like cutie. Cutie anakujanga kwangu before ende home. Anakujanga kwangu tunakunywa uji.
Sisemi wanawake.
Hata umetoboa sisi.
Sisemi wanawake wapitie wakunywe uji.
Pitieni kwa Roberta.
That's what men do. That's what some men do, and that's their way of relaxing, and they feel better the next day. Anyway, CJ ajani. Ameniangalia ile like wewe.
No.
Yeah.
Tukimalizia. I think the biggest lesson in learn in life is when someone passes away, because by the time huyo mtu anaenda kwa grave 6 feet under, ushakuwa replaced. Whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, whatever it is in life, hata mabeshte wako, hata familia yako, by the time uende 6 feet under, hawa so asha move on. So ask yourself, are you going to burn out yourself ukipeana? Unaona kitu umesema, unajipa, unasikia ni kama umejikatakata, hadi unashindwa, nitajikatakata, how I don't exist anymore. We lose ourselves so much giving into family, relationships, friends and work. Yani tunajipa kabisa, tunajipa 100%. You lose yourself, you forget yourself. So please remember that when you go 6 feet under, hawa sawa na kureplacing hata ni kama uko na exist. Kesho wamesha move on, wamepiga sherehe, wame move on. So please take care of yourself, love yourself and just rest. That's all I can say. Mi mambo ya kurest hata tuwezi discuss hata na mtu wangu ama na nani. Mi lazima nilale, lazima ni rest. Yangu ni ya kulala. So please take care of yourself and remember utareplaciwa before ufike hiyo 6 feet under.
CJ.
I think just what you were talking about, I was thinking about this in my mind. Sometimes people pull themselves from an environment and then take themselves into another environment of high energy and intensity, thinking that if they have a new challenge, then they're going to be rejuvenated. And the people who having faced a burnout, they actually need to have a phase where they're not doing anything that is exerting on them. So you find maybe somebody leaves a relationship and looks for a job that will take all their time. Or they move from one thing into something else that is also draining. In the initial, it will look good because it's different, but then they've not yet dealt with the issue that they had, which is them having really gotten into a burnout. So it's important for you to actually heal the burnout, if you can.
Before.
Yeah, just get it through, because moving into something else may not be the solution always. You can move into another country, another town, another space, and then realize what Ken said, that sometimes you begin January while you're already in a burnout because you thought changing towns, cities, seasons, people, places is going to deal with that, and that may not be the case. So medicate, you've got to deal with that. And it's also important for you to be very self-aware. I can't believe I've used Bobby's words. That you're going to be self-aware so that you know how far you can go. Because Safin, people are replaceable. We are on the 25th of November. You cannot tell that an enormous personality passed on last month in this country. You know, it's something we used to fear. If something happens to this man, what will happen? But life has a way that it just faces itself around and then it moves on. So we have to understand that while we are building, do your best. And as you do your best, try to ensure that you can do whatever you can to pull yourself from the situation. The greatest thing you can buy for yourself is time.
All right.
That's the greatest thing you can buy for yourself is time. I finish with this. The rich use their money to buy time. The poor sell their time to get money.
I wanted to say something, but I don't want to water down how he has ended there. You know, if you're rich, you use your money to buy time. If you're poor, you sell your time to get money. I mean, what a way to end the show. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate your time and company. Please take care of yourself. Please think about self first so that you can pour into others. My name is Safina Chengoma, and I want you to have a lovely day ahead. Enjoy the rest of your viewing. That's how we wrap it up. We do this again next week, Tuesday.